All right, let's jump right into a question that I know trips up a ton of people who are just getting into trading. Where in the world do you even start? You hear about Forex, you hear about stocks, you hear about options, and honestly, it can feel like you're trying to learn three different languages at once. So, we're going to clear all that up. Think of this as your personal map to the trading world.
I mean, you know what I'm talking about. You're scrolling online and boom, there it is. The Lambo, the giant screenshot of a trading account with more commas than you can count. It looks amazing, right? And it definitely makes you think, okay, how can I get a piece of that action?
But that excitement can turn into analysis paralysis, like really fast. It's a total maze. Should I be trading the euro against the yen? Should I buy shares in a company I like? Or should I try to figure out these option things? They all have totally different rules, different risks, and different ways to make or lose money.
Okay, so let's dive in. Before you can even think about picking a path, you've got to understand what you're walking into. So first things first, we're going to break down what you are actually trading in each of these markets. Let's start with the big one. So, Forex. It stands for foreign exchange. The easiest way to wrap your head around this is to think of it as a huge global currency swap. You're basically placing a bet on one country's economy against another's. So if you think Japan's economy is weakening and the US is getting stronger, you might sell the yen and buy the dollar. You don't own a product or a company, you're just trading the value between two currencies. All right, now on to stocks. This is probably what most people think of when they hear the word trading, and it's pretty straightforward. When you buy a stock in, say, Apple or Amazon, you are literally buying a tiny, tiny slice of that company. You become a part owner. So if the company does well, your little slice becomes more valuable. It's that simple.
And then we have options. Now pay close attention to this next part because it's the whole ballgame. Options give you the right but not the obligation to do something. See, with a stock, you own the thing. With an option, you just own a contract about the thing. It's like having a non-refundable coupon to buy a stock at a certain price by a certain date. It's a bet on future movement, and that's where all the extra layers of strategy and risk come in.
Okay, so now we know what these things are, right? One's a currency swap, one's company ownership, and one's a contract. But how do they actually work day to day? Because let me tell you, trading each of them feels completely different. And this is where you might start to see one that just clicks with your life.
Let's just focus on two massive differences here. When can you trade and how much money can you control? Forex is this global monster that never sleeps. It runs 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. Got a night job? No problem. Want to trade at 3 a.m.? Go for it. Stocks and options, though, they're on a strict schedule, like 9:30 to 4 Eastern. Then you've got leverage. Just think of leverage as a power-up that lets you control a huge amount of money with just a little of your own. Forex is famous for offering insane amounts of leverage, which, well, we're about to see why that's both awesome and terrifying.
And that brings us right to the heart of the matter. I'm going to say this loud and clear. There is no best market, period. Anyone who tells you otherwise is selling something. The only thing that matters is which market is best for you, your bank account, and your personality. So let's get into the good, the bad, and the ugly for each one.
Let's kick things off with that massive, super fast-paced world of Forex.
So, what's the appeal? Well, it's super easy to get into. You can start with a pretty small amount of money, and you can trade literally any time of day or night. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. All that high leverage, it's a double-edged sword. It can make you a lot of money fast, absolutely, but it can wipe out your entire account even faster. When you mix that with wild price swings and the fact that you need to be a mini expert on global politics, it can get really overwhelming for a beginner.
All right, let's shift gears to the more traditional path, buying and selling stocks.
Now, with stocks, things feel a bit safer. You actually own a piece of a business, it's all heavily regulated, and the whole idea is just easier to grasp. You do your research on a company, and if you believe in it, you buy a share. The downside? You're chained to market hours. It often takes more cash to get started, and compared to the wild west of Forex, the pace can feel, well, kind of slow.
And finally, let's talk about the one that offers the most power, but also demands the most skill. Options are a whole different beast. The potential here is just incredible. You can create strategies that make money if a stock skyrockets, plummets, or even goes absolutely nowhere. But, and this is a huge but, the learning curve is like climbing a cliff. You have to deal with things like time decay,
Just picture your option contract as a melting ice cube. It's losing value every single second, whether you do anything or not, and it is very, very easy to lose your entire investment on a single trade.
Okay, so we've looked at the map, we've seen the different roads, we've pointed out the potholes. Now, how do you choose your path? This is where we stop looking at the market and start looking at you. So forget all the hype for a second and just ask yourself 3 brutally honest questions. Number 1, how much money can you put into this that you'd be okay with if it completely disappeared tomorrow? Number 2, how's your stomach for risk? Does the idea of wild, fast swings give you a thrill, or does it make you want to throw up? And number 3, what's your real-life schedule? Are you free from 9:30 to 4, or do you need something that works around your job? Your honest answers to these questions are going to point you in the right direction.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? The game isn't about finding some secret, perfect market that prints money. It's about finding the one that fits you, the one that matches your money, your mindset, and your schedule. That's the arena where you actually stand a chance to learn and grow as a trader.
So there you have it. You have the map, you know what the terrain looks like. Now the only question left is, which journey are you going to start first? Whether you dive into the 24-hour race of Forex, build a portfolio on the solid ground of stocks, or try to solve the incredible puzzle of options, the first step is now up to you. Thanks for watching.